Hello everyone, welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, a blue dot and a red state utilizing tarot to offer insight into these very interesting times we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here and welcome. The focus of today's reading is going to be Ghislane Maxwell. Okay. Now that Trump has come out and said that the Epstein files it was all a hoax made up by Barack Obama, Comey, and I think Clinton, and was Joe Biden part of that? Probably. So it's all a hoax. Okay, it's like, well, some of us remember, the trial that she had, and was sentenced, to 20 years in jail for. And so she has kind of a list of things that she's doing. Now, before I get into this, because we're looking at, like, is she going to be able to, because she's saying, I'll testify before Congress. I'm more than happy to testify before Congress. I have the list. I have all the evidence. I am more than willing to release all of that. Now, we are not rooting for the convicted, was she, it was child sex trafficking. I don't know what her exact, why exactly she's in jail, like what she was convicted on, but that's what it is. It is the, she's, a convicted child sex trafficker in some degree, as far as what those charges are, so that she was convicted of. So we are not rooting for her. We are rooting for the leopards, and if they happen to be using Ghislane Maxwell to take down Trump, then that's who we're rooting for. So rooting for the leopards. It makes it a lot easier to watch, because you're like, all of these people are horrible people. I don't want to root for any of them. You're not. You're rooting for the leopards. Okay. So, so what she has done first is she is asking SCOTUS, Supreme Court, to overturn her conviction, and the DOJ is like, no, we don't want that conviction overturned. And it went through the whole thing of the reason she's asking for that is because of an agreement that Jeffrey Epstein entered into, that the co-conspirators, plural, part of his plea deal, would not be prosecuted. Okay, so she is coming back and saying, well, I was a co-conspirator. I should not therefore be prosecuted. Okay, so that co-conspirators, plural, kind of makes us wonder. So does that mean that there's more? There's more than just Ghislane. Okay, nobody has come forward to my knowledge in all of these years with that, but that doesn't mean that there isn't evidence floating out there somewhere that somebody has. Okay, so the list of questions I kind of have, that's kind of her first line. Her first thing is trying to get SCOTUS to overturn her conviction. She's also asking for a retrial, since obviously all of that evidence was fake. And then there's been, like Trump, there's reporting that Trump at one point had thought about pardoning her. We'll see if that is a thing. And will we find out about the other co-conspirators? Okay, so that's kind of what I've got going on there. So usually I want to start with a base reading, but I'm actually going to start just right with is SCOTUS going to overturn her conviction? Okay. Okay. As always, these are for entertainment purposes only. Is SCOTUS going to overturn Ghislane Maxwell's conviction? Are they going to overturn that? Okay. As far as overturning that, Queen of Pentacles. This is the heart and center. If this is her, this is the woman that's got the evidence. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that if this is her, she's the woman with the evidence. Transformation. I'm just going to leave it there for now. The challenge is probably getting this overturned. I'm going to say it's probably not going to get overturned by SCOTUS. They're weighing in the options card, like what's coming in, what are your options? Your options are, there's options, there's choices to be made. Okay, so let me keep going here. The Lovers, ew, because, her and Jeffrey there. And, they had this deal that they were working on. I don't like reading on this. So, anyway, that the agreements that they had in their relationship that she went along with, she has evidence of all of it. And so I wonder, like, these options, like, what is that options? Okay. I do not like reading on someone's health, but when the death card comes up, knowing what happened to Jeffrey Epstein, no, but I mean, does anyone actually believe that he committed suicide? I mean, seriously, like, as soon as I saw this, like, there's no way he committed suicide, whenever that was, however many years, 2019, I guess. So when this comes up, knowing what happened to Jeffrey Epstein, I'm wondering, is she going to find her way? I'm just going to, whatever this entails, whether it's suicide or I put that in air quotes there, or something else, is she going to meet her untimely demise? Is she, whether it's suicide or clarify? Let's do some clarification on this. Clarification on the death card. Does just mean transformation? Clarification on the death card. Okay. Has there been talks for her to meet the same fate as Jeffrey Epstein? Yes. And the reason I say this is this card here it's literally crossing the river Styx. Okay? That's what that card means. And I have a mythology tarot deck, and that actually is who is the anyway, in my mythology tarot, that's what this is. It is crossing the river. Okay? And that it's going to be by the hand of our government to hold on to political power. Okay, there are at least talks about that. That's going to be like they're weighing their options of how to deal with her. Okay, because they need her to stay silent. And they are going to keep her silent one way or the other. Okay, so I don't want to put a lot of energy into that, because to me, reading on that is just kind of ick. It doesn't feel good. It feels really like ew. Okay, so is she going to get a retrial? Something from the past, which, and this is, I always say the Queen of Wands is Pam Bondi. So the challenge is Pam Bondi. This is like, they don't want this to be resurrected. They do not want this to be in the news, okay, at all. And if she gets a retrial, it is going to be in the news. That evidence is going to be coming out. A lot more evidence that they do not want coming out. And what are we going to do? Okay. The future card is looking out into the future. So, like, what are we going to do? Our options. How can we make our options? And this is a card, a partnership, an agreement. What agreements can we make? And I wonder if it goes to trial, if there's not a plea deal. That would make sense. A plea deal, so this does not go to trial, because they do not want all of that evidence to be out there. So is she going to be pardoned? I'm just going to do 3 cards on that. Is she going to be pardoned? Trump wants to, but I don't know that he's going to. I don't think that they're going to pardon her. I get the feeling more likely that there's going to be like messages like Trump is going to help her, but it's not going to be with a pardon. It's going to be with a plea deal, because they do not want that to go to trial. Okay. And she has the evidence, and I think they've threatened her. They have absolutely threatened, or if they haven't, they're going to threaten her. Like, you saw what happened to old Jeffrey there, didn't you? And don't think that we won't do the same thing. Um, I'm just sitting here taking a moment here. Let me look at my questions. SCOTUS is not going to overturn her conviction. If she gets a retrial, that's probably going to be the more likely course, and she'll get a plea deal because of the they don't want evidence coming out. Oh, other co-conspirators. These really shuffle. Are we going to hear? Are we going to find out who the other co-conspirators are? Are we going to find out who the other co-conspirators are? Or what do we need to know? Yeah, let me do a bit. What do we need to know about the other co-conspirators? Moving forward with messaging, something coming out, like something being offered, changes in emotions, changes, like whatever comes out with that, stability, security, the happy home, these agreements and relationships and the happy home, co-conspirators. You know, I don't know if there may be, I know, okay, because I'm like, yes, but, it was a yes, but, okay, yes, there are other co-conspirators. Do I think that we will find out? Not anytime soon. And the reason I'm saying that is, like, anybody that could come forward with the evidence, the message is, we will take care of you one way or the other. So, you know, be careful with what you do. So I think that there's been threats. Also, all these cups makes me feel, excuse me. Oh, excuse me about that. Need a quick drink. So yeah, it's like whoever a co-conspirator was, if they thought it was somebody who was going to speak, they have shut them down and have offered them something to keep them quiet. And all these cups are the emotions. So yeah, I think that I don't think that we're going to be able to. We're not going to know that anytime soon. They've offered them something for their silence. Okay. So, with Ghislane there, I think that I get this feeling like Trump wants to help her, but he has to be careful with how he helps her because of, you know, the backlash, which surprises me that they would come out and tell SCOTUS, don't overturn this. And SCOTUS always does him a favor, so a solid. So I don't know. We'll see. I think that whatever evidence she has is not going to come out because if SCOTUS doesn't overturn her conviction, then she asks for a retrial. There's going to be, and if that is granted, which I mean, the evidence is fake. That's my son's bird in the background screaming. So anyway, he's wanting attention. He's fine. He's not in stress. He's just wanting attention. That's what he does when he wants attention. Just screams. So yeah, I think that she's not going to be pardoned. The co-conspirators they've already gotten to, and they're like, you're not going to come forward. You're not going to say a word. Congress is not going to have her come before. They are not going to do that. And so if she gets a retrial, there's probably going to be some kind of plea bargain to keep that evidence out, or it's going to be deemed classified or something like that. They're going to try to keep that under wraps. I really think that if we get anything from the Epstein files, it's going to be like a whistleblower leaks it, or that, like Musk, you know, something like in that world is going to be who releases it. So I am curious. I just had this question, and this should have gone with the other reading I did on the Epstein files, but I'm curious about, because like if that was leaked, that would be something else. I wonder is Dan Bongino going to have it leaked? Because he's pretty upset. Of all of them, he's the one that I think is the most upset. So is he going to be leaking So it's not officially from him, but yet it's leaked to, the media by anonymous source. Is this going, and let me just ask that, is the evidence going to be leaked by an anonymous source? And by anonymous, I don't mean like the anonymous, but just like anyone anonymous. And something being offered, something that was restricted, that's now being offered and out for the world. Yeah, I mean, that's actually a pretty strong possibility that could happen. Let me get, and with Ace and 4 weeks, 1 month, within this month, when will it be released? What can we expect on that being released? Major transformation, victory going forward, and decisions being made on that. So yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. If for it to be, if Musk doesn't release it, I expect some kind of leak. Now, whether it's Dan Bongino that's behind it or not, or Bongino, however you say his name, I don't, is it going to be, the files will be leaked. Now, whether it's Musk or an anonymous leak, that, I mean, we don't really care one way. That was just a curiosity question. We don't care one way or the other. But I do think that those files will be released. So, yeah, that will be interesting to keep kind of tabs there on what Ghislane is doing. So thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I have a feeling this will not be the last time I do a reading on Ghislane Maxwell or the Epstein files. But I will tell you this. The Epstein files are quickly kind of becoming my Trump health reading. Like, yes, we see that he's melting down. We see that he's in horrible health. We saw his ankles. Yes, we know he's not in good health. And is I would be, he's not going to last his presidency. I mean, the 4 years, I'd be shocked. The Epstein files is kind of becoming that for me. Also, is like, the Epstein client list exists. Is the Trump administration lying about it? Yes. Did Epstein kill himself? No. Some of the stuff isn't even Trudeau moments. It's just like, and it's like, the outrage that, do some of them know that Trump is in the files? They should. That outrage, is it going to be sustained? I think it will for the base. If this comes out that Trump is in those files and it's like in an undeniable fashion that like you cannot deny that he absolutely did that, then yes, he will be losing support from the base. Ghislane, that will be one that I will have to keep watching because, she's kind of in a kind of a precarious position there because she wants out, but yet... she was convicted, but if the evidence was, nobody believes it was fake. So, yeah, this is going to be one I probably will keep watching on. And so kind of by extension of that, the Epstein files, I don't know how much more I'm going to be doing on the Epstein files. I mean, I guess if something big and major happens, I will do that reading. But you see what I'm saying? It's just like, it's kind of the same. I'm getting the same thing. I'm getting kind of the same stuff. So I can't just keep doing the Epstein files, if I'm just kind of getting the same thing. So we'll see what happens, and I will keep track of it, and I will do those readings as necessary. So thank you for joining me. I'll put another reading up here for you to check out, especially if this is one of your first readings. Check out one of my other readings, okay? So thank you very much for joining me, and I will catch you on the next reading. Have a good day.